The White House defense team lays out its argument against removing President Trump from office, saying he did nothing wrong and alleging a rushed partisan process by Democrats. One America's Marty Golingan has all the details.
An affront to the Constitution, brazenly political, an attempt to overturn the 2016 election and the 2020 vote. These are just some of the phrases President Trump's legal team is using to describe the Democrats' impeachment in a lengthy legal brief to the Senate. On Monday, the White House sent over 100 pages of single-spaced arguments to the upper chamber, countering House Democrats' claims the president abused the power of his office and obstructed Congress. One excerpt from the filing calls for a fast acquittal, stating, quote, "All of this is a dangerous perversion of the Constitution that the Senate should swiftly and roundly condemn." White House advisor Kellyanne Conway spoke to reporters about a motion to dismiss the trial after reports said Majority Leader Mitch McConnell would include language in the Senate rules which would give the White House an opportunity to brush off the proceeding entirely.
We know that he's not going to be removed from office. We know that he'll be acquitted in the Senate. But again, we respect the Senate process. So if a Republican senator or a Democratic senator wants to make a motion to dismiss, we'll follow along in the vote. But that is nothing that we have personally pushed for with the Senate. That's up to the Senate, and we respect that.
The Trump impeachment defense also says the Democrats failed to allege any crimes which have been committed, which has been the standard for previous impeachment proceedings. On the impeachment article of abuse of power, the defense team says, quote, "Democrats' novel conception of abuse of power as a supposedly impeachable offense is constitutionally defective," adding that it supplants the framers' standard of high crimes and misdemeanors with a made-up theory that the president can be impeached and removed from office under an amorphous and undefined standard of abuse of power. Trump defense team member Alan Dershowitz spoke on the abuse argument in an interview Monday.
Abuse of power was alleged against John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, Andrew Jackson, Abraham Lincoln, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. It's a political argument that's made by opponents against all presidents. So abuse of power can never be a criteria for impeaching or removing a president. Abuse of power is a very fair criteria for deciding who to vote for. And when I decide who to vote for, I voted against Trump last time. When I decide who to vote for, I will then address the question whether I think the president abuses power, but it's not relevant to the issue under consideration in impeachment because abuse of power is not the criteria for impeachment.
On the impeachment article of obstruction of Congress, the legal team argues the president was denied his due process rights, and that, quote, "The president does not commit obstruction by asserting legal rights and privileges," and House Democrats turn the law on its head with their unprecedented claim that it is obstruction for anyone to assert rights that might require the House to try and establish the validity of its subpoenas in court. The statement is in reference to the Democrats' excuse that waiting for the third branch of government to decide a dispute between the executive and legislative branches was not politically expedient, as waiting for court rulings on the matter of evidence and witnesses would have taken months and stretched into the 2020 election season. The White House also addressed the incident, which sparked the whistleblower complaint and the partisan aftermath, the infamous July 25th phone call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Reporters pointed out in the index for the basis of the brief, the defense contends, quote, "It was entirely appropriate for President Trump to ask about possible Ukrainian interference in the 2016 election. And it would have been appropriate for President Trump to ask President Zelensky about the Biden-Burisma affair." Marty Golingan, One America News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.